Thank you for joining us for another season of Bulldog Blitz. I'm Don Hammock, the Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, coming to you from Goodman, where the Gulf Coast Bulldogs destroyed the Holmes Bulldogs 56-14. We're going to talk with Coach Jack Wright, defensive lineman Jace McCoy, and running back Cam Thomas while we take a look at some highlights from tonight's performance. Later on, we'll introduce you to defensive tackle Hydee Barlow, and we'll let you learn about the women's soccer team coached by Jackie Rhodes as they have the 2021 season underway. Stick around. Here by the field with Mississippi Gulf Coast head coach Jack Wright. Jack, first game of the year, first W, that's always a good feeling, I know.
Yeah, it is. These kids have worked so hard. They've done everything we've asked them to do. We've challenged them sometimes in the 2 months leading up to this game. As a coach, you really never know how good you are, and it can kind of rack your nerves a little bit and make you anxious about what you're seeing at practice. Is it going to translate to games? And so it's just very fulfilling to come out here and see some of the things that you've been seeing at practice that have been good actually work against somebody else.
And I know it was just an upset kind of week with missing practice time because of the hurricane, and I know there are a lot bigger things in the world to worry about, but I know that kind of cut down y'all's prep time.
Sure. We did not have our kids beginning Friday morning until Tuesday afternoon. Those guys were out, mandatory evacuation, took all precautions as we had to. So really proud of them. And a lot of young men in that situation can lose focus and maybe shift gears into another world, probably out of necessity sometimes, but they came back focused. They knew that we had a challenge tonight. We had 2 really good days of prep, probably worked a little bit harder on Wednesday than we typically would in order to get ready for tonight. So kudos to our guys for adjusting a little bit and making it work.
You called the offensive plays, but we'll talk about the defense to start with. Held Holmes to 88 total yards, 90 yards on the ground, -2 passing. They dominated.
Well, I didn't know the statistics until you just mentioned it. That's the first time in my coaching career that I've been a part of a performance where an offense in college football is held under 100 yards. So that's astounding. That doesn't happen very often. So very proud of that group. They go hard every day in practice. They're great energy in practice. They play hard. They make the same plays in practice that they make here. So we've got to continue to get better and just stay focused and do those things, the little things every week to keep getting better.
I know when you're in practice all the time, offense versus that defense, sometimes that makes you wonder how good you are, but obviously you guys put up 56 points tonight.
That's the only watermark you have, Don, is going against each other for a long time, whether it's pass scale drills, one-on-one or 11-on-11 situations, and it really is a guessing game when you go into the first week on exactly how good you are on either side of the football.
How did you think you performed offensively?
Very efficiently. We were kind of what Holmes did kind of limited you. They played a certain coverage and pretty much stuck with it all night, and they were going to make us play a certain style of football. We beat them a couple of times deep, but other than that, we had some steady drives, some first downs, throwing underneath, throwing some short crossing routes and things like that, and we did that really well. Our receivers are very talented with speed, and I can't really remember other than maybe a mistake or 2 up front, but the pocket was very clean all night long. The quarterbacks had time to scan and read and see what's going on, and it just kind of all came together in the passing game tonight.
I know you got to play a lot of guys. I know that's always important. Now you got to kind of turn the page for next week when you get maybe a more traditional team, not a team running the triple option. What are you guys going to be focusing on this week?
100% on Northeast. It's a traveling week, Don. It's a kind of a unique traveling week. We typically don't travel that far. It's probably as far of a drive as you can make in the entire length of Mississippi. So we've got to overcome that. Hopefully we won't have any interruptions like we did weather-wise last week. So we just need to have complete focus and buy-in. We have buy-in right now, and that's one thing that's very pleasing as a coach is to have the players buy into what you're selling and work really hard in order to try to improve and get better at the system.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
We're here on the field with Picayune's Cam Thomas. Cam, 9 carries, 138 yards tonight. How do you think you played tonight?
I think I played pretty decent. You know, it wasn't. Didn't play the full game, but I think I played pretty good.
Cam, what did the offensive line do for you to make things work?
They opened up some big holes for me. They did their job. They executed how they were supposed to. We really leaned on outside zone, so it really worked. Really worked.
What was was that the call that you got the long touchdown on?
Yes, sir. Outside zone. Yes, sir.
What happened on the play?
Really, I know they ain't had no end. They ain't really had no end, so it really wasn't no edge pressure. So I knew once I got around, I had really could work with it. So just really receivers blocking for me. You know, everybody doing their job. They executed real well.
The defense held Holmes to 88 total yards. That's impressive. What'd you see from those guys while you were on the sideline?
88 yards. That's pretty good for a run team. They run the ball every play. 88 yards. That's very good.
What do y'all have to do this week to get ready for Northeast?
We just got to come in every day, put in the work, Coach Wright preaching, and execute. We will be a very good team.
All right, Cam. Congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mr. Dunn.
We're here with defensive lineman Jace McCoy from Summit, Mississippi. Jace, got the first W of the year. How'd that feel tonight?
It felt really good, Don. We just came out, we executed a lot of plays that we needed to, and then we just went out our way to make, and it came out really big for us. It feels good.
How did you guys think you fared on the defensive line? I know against the triple option, that's always a challenge.
Yes, sir. It's definitely a challenge because everybody got to play their role. And tonight, I feel like everybody played their role at each snap, and that's why we came out with the dub. If not, yeah.
88 yards total offense for him, 90 yards on the ground,
Ooh, I ain't know that.
-2 in the air. So y'all dominated pretty good. Does that feel good to get that notch in your belt?
Yes, sir. It definitely feel good to get this big W under our belt. With a low running yards like that, I love it all the time.
What'd you see from the other side of the ball for y'all's offense tonight?
Oh yeah, they did a lot. They did a lot. How much they put on the scoreboard?
56.
56, yeah. So that's all I got to say about it. They did a lot.
You guys get to enjoy this for a little while, but you guys will start thinking about next week, don't you?
Yes, sir, definitely. We already getting ready. Got film tonight. We ready to go. It's by Sunday.
All right. Congratulations, Jace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Hydee Barlow is a third-year defensive lineman. Let's meet Hydee Barlow.
I started playing football around the age of, I think, 6, 7. Played for Scott Central Midgets. We won state championship for the Scott Central Rebel 2 years, midget and Pee Wee year. Then I just been loving for the game. Basketball was my sport, but football, I felt more comfortable playing football. I like to hit people, so. Gulf Coast is more like a family, brotherhood thing. Everybody is just in it to win it together, and it's just great to come here. Best place to be. Coach Smith, he's a great D-line coach. He know the fundamentals of the game. He get us prepared for the game. He makes sure that everything we do is right and just, good. Coach Wright, he's a great coach. He does his job at coaching everybody as a team, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do in the classroom, on and off the field. And I'm glad he brought me down to Gulf Coast to be a part of Bulldog. That's a season to never forget because we had a lot of talent. We had a lot of depth. So you just have to be great to get on that field. You had to be top dogs to play, and that was a very special moment to play in the national championship with them guys. We had the best, #1 facility in JUCO right now. It's the best facility, not like no other. It's beautiful. Environment, it's just everybody get together, bonding, get to know each other. So it helps with football, get your mind off of it a little bit just to meet new people. So I got high expectations. I want us to be like national championship team. Everybody be disciplined, buy in on what we got, and just stay focused and don't let us down. I just want us to win it this year again. I got faith in us. We gotta fill in some little spots, but everything else we should be the same. It's just the young guys gotta step up, get used to the moving fast and going to the ball, moving a lot faster. That's all. Offense, that's gonna be a big part. They're gonna help us a lot. We got a lot of weapons on the offense side, so in the offensive line. So that's a big key. Offense is gonna be a big difference this year. Miss Bush, my favorite. She always makes sure I'm doing good in math because it's my favorite subject. So Miss Bush is the best. I'm just hiding. I sit back, watch film, study film, just be in my own world, trying to get better every day.
Jackie Rhodes has a strong bunch of Bulldogs on her women's soccer team. Let's meet Jackie Rhodes and talk about her Gulf Coast team for 2021.
We are very sophomore heavy, as are a lot of teams in this league this year, which is why you see so much strength around the league. We all went in hard last year, recruited a ton of freshmen, so we're very sophomore heavy this year. So I expect us to compete at the very end, and they're very capable of doing that. So that's the expectation, is to win. There's 5 teams in the rankings this year, which I don't think it's ever happened before with that many. So it is very wide open. I say it all the time. There's 5 teams, in my opinion, I think could walk away with it this year, which is usually 1 or 2 teams you think that will win. I think it's very wide open, and even for the teams that aren't ranked, they're still good teams. They're still competing. So you just never know what'll happen at the end. We have Skylar Steeds. She is our goalkeeper. She's our starting goalie. She's been around for a few years. She's aggressive in the goal. She can, hit goal kicks and free kicks and anything that we need her to do. So she's a big presence back there. She's a great shot blocker or stopper. So we're expecting her to continue to make those big plays. She only had 18 goals against her all season last year, so we're looking to decrease that number this year. We have Molly ETCHELLS back there. She's from England. She's one of our international players. We moved her to center back this year. She's just a presence back there. She's a leader. She was a leader on our team last year. She continues to be a leader this year. She really keeps our whole team organized, vocally and athletically. So we're better defensively because of her, along with those other players on our back line. We have 1 freshman on the back line this year with Kate, and she is doing a phenomenal job. Her and Bree keep those outsides locked down, and we will continue to expect them to do those things every game. Katie Brown, she is our anchor in the midfield. We have a lot of other players that can play that position, but she is the most technical player that we have. She's crafty. She gets us out of trouble a lot of times, and she is what makes our whole team operate. It really starts from her. She isn't the reason, that we win games, but she is what helps us create all of our offensive plays. So we look for her to do those same things this year. We moved Liv from center back into the midfield this year. So she's really helping us defensively in the midfield, and she's also a big key as to why Katie can do what Katie can do, because she has Liv behind her defensively helping. We have ALYSSA PALISI. She is one of our attacking players. She plays out wide for us, and she also can play striker for us. We kind of interchange her a bit when needed. She has the ability to score anytime the ball is at her feet. She is a strong player. She doesn't back down easily. She gets a bit frustrated at times, but it's because she always wants the ball, and that's what we love about her. So we look to see her have a really big impact offensively for us this year. We have LEAH BENNETT. She's another one of our international players. She's from South Africa. She, to me, is our most consistent player on our roster. You really can count on her to do the dirty work or to be a playmaker. So she will step up and do whatever is needed at any time. This year, because we are so sophomore loaded, yes, we want to compete for the South title in hopes of winning the South title, but the ultimate goal is to make the national tournament, whether that be winning the state championship or sneaking in through, being ranked highly. We have a very stacked schedule this year. You know, we're playing East Central, we play Holmes, we play Jones twice, we play Pearl River twice, and all of these teams are ranked, so you know, you have to win those big games to sneak into a tournament if you get upset at the end in a state tournament. So, you know, the dream and the hope is to play for a national title. So that's what we're gonna work for.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bulldog Blitz. We'll see you next week from Northeast in Booneville.